Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm from the solution for Alibaba Cloud Apsara games. And before I start, I'd like to share with you some of my perspectives about the game industries and why Ali Cloud attaches great importance to the games, and we have devoted a lot in the development of the games. Maybe some of you may think that this is a very profitable industry, and it feels like a lot of you in the audiences are very wealthy, but actually the game industry, for the performances, stability, coverage, and emergency responsiveness of the services are very high, and in the industry it will have a very high requirements to the basic service qualities, and this is a test stone for those services, and I believe it is also our goal to improve the performances. And in the recent years, what makes me very busy and also very happy is that when I was visiting the industrial parks in Beijing, Shanghai, Guangzhou, and Shenzhen, and I have enjoyed a dinner in a lot of cafes in those areas, and we have been contacting with the clients in those regions, and in this process we have been growing our relationship from a trade partner to friends, and especially sometimes we are the better friends. So we feel that only when you really want to treat your clients like friends, they are willing to grow together with you. Although that there is still something needed to be improved, we are very willing to work together. And in the previous VNT conferences, we have been releasing some of the game solutions. And in the future, we have reached an agreement that in the annual VNT conferences and some of the other Ali conferences, we will also launch the general solution for the Ali games. And we hope that you can provide us with more support and feedback, because your feedback is one of the biggest drives for our development. So today I'd like to approach the topic from the three aspects. And the third part is the data operation of the games. And this is a very important part for the ecosystem of Ali Cloud. And we have these partners sitting in the first row of this room, and I will have a stress on that part. But before I introduce operation of the data, I will first introduce the general picture of the game industry in China, because it's also related to the development direction of our game players in the industry in China. And the second part is that in 2017 we have released some of the Ali products and services that are closely related to the games, and I'd like to share with you some of those services and products. So it's a brief review. Now let's start. So on this slide, it is a general picture of the Ali game solutions. So for the cloud services, I believe that you have been very familiar with it. These are the fundamental services. And in the second layer, you will see the core services of the games, and the core services including the storage, safety, computing network, etc. And in fact, for the hardware, based on Moore's law, every 2 years with the advancement of technologies, the computing capability you can purchase with the same price can be doubled or several folds. But you need to consider that in your application scenarios, whether you have been benefited from the development of technologies. And actually, in the TD of Ali Cloud, there is an important KPI that is through constant innovation of technologies and optimization of the service supply chains, as well as the scale effect, we should reduce the cost of operation, and then we could benefit our clients. So for these services, we can see they are very representative. And it's a great enjoyment for you to play games and watch videos. But you need some technologies to support the smooth video through the convenient play process of the games. And there are some features of those supporting tools. For example, we need a very high capacity service, and we need the global acceleration capacity, also the very cost-effective storage and service capabilities. And we also need a safety network that has a very complicated structure. And we need to be able to solve all types of the problems we encounter in the real context. And I'd like to express my gratitude for your suggestions and advices during our partnership. So we also have some special services provided for different industries, and this is also a highlight for us. And we need to insist on those characteristic services for specific industries, and it will be a very important work for our future development. But maybe we are distinctive from our competitors who will very value the platform and ecosystems, because we believe that the ecosystem is much more important than an individual company's success, because it will be more sustainable and lively. That's why we have been cooperating with a lot of excellent partners, such as social technology, and based on our own storage and computing capabilities, we could take advantage of the other advantages from the partners, so that as a cluster we could provide more resources and to have a better development. And in the future we will also launch some of the relevant products and services co-developed with our partners, and now I will not disclose more details. So we can see that the solution of Alibaba Cloud is also very conducive for the operation, management, development of the games. It's benefiting the whole life cycle of the development of games. So the development test is very important, but of course we also have the real-time voice recognition, AI capabilities, etc. And for product operation, it is also a key region we are going to work on, and now we have been working with social technology. And in the CB this year, we could see that some of the large players in the overseas, such as Google and Facebook, they have been focusing on this area as well. They have been focused on the product operation, and social technology have been conducting the predictions for the smart trend, and they have conducted analysis on different aspects, such as the operation monitoring, etc. All of these are the same targets of the international big players, and we hope that we can very soon provide our solutions to our clients on these aspects. So this is the major structure of our work, and now I'd like to review the major launches this year, which are closely related to the game industries, such as the upgrade of the servers and the launch of the 5.x game shields, as well as the global gaming acceleration and the mobile service launch. So in August, we have organized the Resilient Computing Conferences, and personally I believe that in the first half of 2017, for the first time, we have made disruptive changes, and we have launched 19 different solutions. And for the first time, we have been considering the problem from the user scenarios, and we have restructured all of those product portfolios, and we have very specific application scenarios for each product. And for the first time, we have utilized the KPI of the performances into the SRA, and I believe that it has reflected two issues. The first one is that the server team of Alibaba Cloud have been shifted from a supplier of the small and medium-sized clients to the large-scale clients. They have this capability and confidence to do so. This is an important milestone for the team. And secondly, it has reflected the technological strength of the virtualization team, because virtualization is an important means of their solutions. And through virtualization, we can achieve this whole series of functions and performance services. And it's very beneficial to the physical equipment and the clients. And I believe this is a remarkable thing. And recently, some of my competitors are also launching their own upgrades of the computing framework. And for me, I think this is a good thing because I believe that Alibaba Cloud is driving the advancement of the whole industries. And if it is launched, it does not mean that it's very user-friendly. If it's user-friendly, it does not mean that it is an excellent product. So if you can purchase and test the solution, and if you believe that it can really live up to its commitment, then it can prove its success. So you can try it and you can experience by yourself. So I will make no more comments about it. So this is about safety. Game is heavily dependent on the safety. And on this slide, you can see the general system of the security system from the most basic levels to the higher levels. And this is a comprehensive safety chain. So in the augmented defense, a lot of the games are testing this function, and the defense is at a higher level. It's above the level 5, and there are a large number of the IT units. It's an augmented way, but it has not been commercially launched. So I would like to stress on the game shields. We have already launched the 5.0 version, and in 2016, we have generated this game shields. And now the 5th version had been released. And the core of the game shield is that we have identified a lot of the clients releasing lots of the screenshots of the hackers hacking images, and also there are some illegal agencies in different regions selling the Ali game shields, but actually it's not the original one. So it means that game shields has become a benchmark for the game safety in its industry, and it's a kind of a distribution of the traffics, and from the perspective of the data, it will balance different functions. And later on, we will have a specific safety session, so I will not go into the details of the game safety issues, but the logic is that the traditional defense of security is based on the resources and the target end, but the latest version will not allow the hackers to identify the objectives, and maybe for the hackers it's very low cost for them to make attacks, but every attack will make the hackers to have some losses, so it will be more costly for the hackers to make attacks in new game shields. And we also have the global acceleration.
And in this gaming industry, because of the gaming demand, we generated the service protocol to meet demand. It's a complex. In one ETS device, we will attach different network cards into it, and then to enhance the acceleration function of it, which will support multi-routers capacity functions. The 1.0 model is already launched, and 2.0 features a global intelligent DS coordination and also off-stop function. In gaming activities, when you are doing the testing, you may encounter failed payment, and this 2.0 feature will address this issue. So this is about accelerator, and we also have specialized meetings on this subject. And next is mobility. Mobility capacity is not known to our game players fundamentally. A few years back, when we talk about HTTPS, and the clients may not accept our suggestion, even if we try really hard. But recent years, we have seen them gradually accepting our products, and they may even accept the viewing terminal of this product, and protection and security functions have been strengthened for this product. Today I want to introduce the product which is not launched in the first half of the year. It's about the mobility accelerator. For instance, it is based on Aliyun CDN and a gateway. Through this gateway, we will realize 4 layers and 7 layers of acceleration. CDN may be designed for the static work, and the gateway addresses the dynamic part. Once they work together, they will support SL and some optimization work for product code stations. Our overall testing result, as we have now, based on the results, the feedback lag increased by 40% and 50% for the static, and 20% and above for the dynamic. And this is just for your reference. For hot fix, there are some matured brands working on hot fix, and we integrate all their work to address the downloading issues, bad customer experience, and it is very convenient to use. It will set up app and generate several series of K, and by means of a patchwork tool, they will launch different patchworks and bug fixation tools, which can be used by small teams to address their technology problems. We also did a mobility test this year, which the mobility platform covers long-distance conditioning, including H5 testing, etc. From Android to iOS to iOS. This product supports all of them, and they also support commonly seen automation functions. The programmers don't need to write a lot of codes. They just start from Aliyun app and then use the product. And based on the testing results and comments and feedbacks, for instance, the HWO's adaptability to the mainstream web browsers through one click, and some analytics of H5, And this mobility platform supports all of these functions. So these are the major gaming improvements that we have achieved in the first half of this year, which already been launched on Aliyuan platform. And you can set up an account on Aliyuan and purchase the products and services. And our service teams will give you strong support. This one is a reflection of several key milestones in 2017. And here shows the Aliyuan digital ecosystem. As Mr. Ma mentioned, Alibaba is a digital or data company. Data is future productivity. Data processing is the business for Alibaba Group's operation. And now gaming industry is advancing towards customization of products. So with the development of gaming industry, your knowledge about your customers and your own products will determine how much market you can cut out in the future. And for gaming players, the analysis of them and also the culture is becoming increasingly important. And we won't give a definition of the gaming operation system. This system, however, needs to follow a certain system. And when the player or the user uses the system, they don't need to be very proficient programmer. And once this system is available, then about 94 to 95% of your demand can be supported by this, and you don't have to do extra coding. And because coding may be a very difficult challenge for small teams, and this is why we have Squirrel technology team and several very experienced and veteran gaming technology experts. We are honored to work together with them in the same team. And as about smart gaming industry platform, before we go into it, let's have a look at the features of current market. First is the analytics dimensions satisfying our actual demand. We do have some platforms to produce such analytics, but the standard PDK has some weakness because it is only able to analyze some log information, and it cannot go beyond simple functions because of the limitation of data. And the second, this analytic system has a certain error, and the tolerance is between 15 to 20%, which is just a reference for you. Based on your own experience, you may do some compensation measures. But if you want to customize your own analytics of the gaming products, such error is not acceptable. And also, this method is about this method. Now there are a lot of types of gamings and a lot of in different categories like confrontation, strategy, or two dimensions. And it's really hard to use one prototype for all games to yield a valuable analytic result. So this is why this is the major limitation of such an analytic system. And the second is how to know what the players think. For instance, a lot of live streaming platforms, these people think of a lot of measures to test the performance of such platforms. For instance, the pop-up streaming subtitles, they can be used as a way to test the function of such a platform. In the gaming industry, some players, based on their analytic methodology, they may be able to, for instance, a champion is really powerful, but how come this champion is powerful? The ultimate is strong, or the strategy, the skills are strong? Then we have to learn about the truth through discussion and exchange of information. And the third is tedious process. And now the intervention is free at the current stage, and it is not quite complex. Well, they give me more minutes. For intervention, if you really want to do some customized analytics, you will see that the embedded dots, spots, and the terminals are really hard to be analyzed. And if the connection has some problem, then the quality of the product and the launch of the product might be sacrificed. So if we want to conduct operation in a deeper, in-depth way, then we need to take further measures. And the next is, if you want to get real-time data and you want to conduct the analytics yourself, it's impossible. And even if you do it yourself, you will find the data that don't seem to be the ones that you produced. And now we, together with the Thinking Game, will create a gaming data analytics platform. The first one is the data analytic modality. And I know every one of you is in the gaming industry. And in our team, the team players are veterans in gaming industry, and they will do the analytics through certain algorithms and embedded spots to push it to a deeper level. So this is why Thinking Game has been regarded highly in the gaming industry. Second is listen to what they say and observe how they behave, and not just analyze the gaming result, but also the players' comments and feedbacks and the threads. Putting all pieces of information together, integrating the customer experience, and then we'll be able to find analytic result. And from the players' behavior characteristics, for instance, this player changes the skin, changes the strategy, changes the skill, we may be able to tell if this skill or technique is workable. For instance, Lü Bu and Diao Chan coupled together, and if put them together in the game, the players may realize that they may be better coupled with other characters. And also, this analytic is not only offline, but also streaming type. Based on the players' feedback and outcry, we may be able to spot potential risks and problems and address them immediately. And next is the intervention methods focus on service terminal, supporting the service log, especially some data concentration tools. This will be very convenient for data harvesting. where am I? So reduce the workload of developers' language. And the last is Aliyun secures the data development, which is different from the traditional data products. Once the data uploaded to the platform, the data will stay in the user's own space. One to download the data, one to use the browse the data. It's up to the user. And the user may need an authentication process to authorize a third-party authentication to get access to his own data. And this platform has two functions. First, analyze the players' behaviors, and second is to analyze the public opinions of the players. Let's look at the players' behaviors. It comprises harvesting methodology and also platform harvesting. Putting them together, the completeness of the data will be secured and accuracy will be really high. And I think 100% may be too much, but the accuracy is really high. We have gained experience in this. And based on our previous analytic method, the accuracy may not reach 20%, but now we may be able to meet 70% to 80% of analytics demand, so as greatly reduce the threshold for gaming access. The third is AI prediction of players' behavior. So for instance, payment is already incurred, loss is already incurred. Such information will be input into the AI, and AI will be able to predict in what context the loss or payment will incur in the future. And so it will help us to get accurate data by this way. For instance, Morning Tech project, the segmented operation. The open source system analytic index is really different from the backstage analytic data. So the exterior source is only for reference, but through this segmented operation, the matching rate is 100%, which greatly boosts the accuracy rate of operation index. And second is second dimension games. The involvement of the players, the transactions, the performance. Through the analytics of all these things, we found that the way how the players can play their games is not the most important, but the story, the music are what the players care about most. And through this, the designers learned which part should be given more consideration, and if in case of any issues or problems, the designers will have a deeper understanding of them. And next is Morning Tech works on the loss of users, and about 10% of improvement we have seen since the introduction of such platform. And the next is analytics of the players' comments and the threads. Every day in a game, in online game, there will be tens of thousands of comments and pop-up titles. It's really hard for us to analyze these pieces of information, which is in massive volume. But
The second thing is that with the topic and for the benefit of the convenience of users, and maybe we can have the most positive topic and sometimes the most negative topics. And then I will be able to see the most representative opinions from the players, and we will be able to see the positive and the negative comments from those players. And we will also have the advertisements in the games, and sometimes the players only play the game for the purpose of accumulating their experiences. And sometimes we use the keywords to identify those behaviors, but this method is very low efficiency. And now we already have very sophisticated method to filter those informations, and we could ignore the old practice of using the keywords to identify those behaviors. And we can use the intelligent computing to make the filters, and also we can make the judgment based on the contexts as well as the time when the player will release these comments. So those kind of module can very accurately identify the content in the games. What are the advertisements? Who are the players that only play the game for accumulating experiences? And this is the Yuzu technology. And with this series of solution, we can have 50 times more of the comments. And secondly, the working efficiency can be improved by 10-fold. And because Yuzu requires that we need to identify all of the emerging problems within 5 minutes, then we can have a real-time monitoring of the public opinions, and we can send early alarms if there is any situation. And we are moderating 5,000 competitors, and these competitors are appearing on microblog, BBSs, and some of the other internet channels, and we could run the monitoring while we are playing the games. And this one, so I have shown to you what Shushu technology have developed, and this one is another platform deployed on Alibaba Cloud. And in the middle part, you could see that we have the Shujia platform, the big data development SDK, and we have a storage data system, and we have provided the services for the storage and analysis of the data. And we also have developed another storage space as well as the computing engines. And in Shushu technology, we could compute the data of the clients, and the result of the data computing can be stored in the external clients. So this is a structure or framework constructed by Shushu technology on Alibaba Cloud, and you do no longer need to worry about the issue of data sharing, data storage, data computing, and you can focus on your own business. So this is the end of my presentation. I'd like to use the 30 minutes to wrap up. So Shushu technology has set a very good example to the ecosystem. Alibaba Cloud is really very open and inclusive. We hope that more of our partners can take advantage of your own expertise and know-how, so we can contribute to the prosperous ecosystem of the game industry together, and let's together develop better games for our users. Thank you very much for your patience.